in 3, 2.
Hey guys, it's Ernestine Romero. Keep it right here with Throwdown Mix. And of course, my really special friend, Mr. KJ, Mr. Karaoke Joe. Check out my website at ernestinromero.com. Besos, un abrazo para todos ustedes. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is Rosa from Washington State.
Hi, this is Sonia de la Paz.
This is G5 from Naples, Florida.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Ray Ray from San Antonio, Texas.
Hi, this is Erica with Meant to Be Promotions from San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, this is Juan Man from Burke Burnett.
Hello, this is Hilda M. Peña from HP Promotions.
Hey y'all, this is Laura Cameron from Tampa, Florida.
This is Ruben Hernandez from New Mex Radio.
¿Qué pasa, raza? This is Javier El Gatito Hernandez from New Mex Radio.
Make sure you listen to Karaoke Joe.
Hey, this is Rebecca Denise from the Monday Night Jam Session.
This is Kayla Ulrich from Del Norte, Colorado.
This is the Godfather, Mr. Tejano Swag.
Aisha, muévete conmigo.
This is New Mexico's very own Reyes Lil Ray Montoya, and you're on the mix with Karaoke Joe on Throwdown.
This is Olivia
Willie,
parents of the late great Ernestine Romero
from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And I'm in the mix with Karaoke Joe.
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 It's time to throw down. Let's go.
Time to throw down. Let's go.
I'm in the mix with Karaoke Joe. Time to throw down. Let's go.
Time to throw down. Let's go.
Y aquí estoy en el mix con Karaoke Joe.
And I'm in the mix with Karaoke Joe, and it's time to throw down.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's go.
And I'm in the mix with my brother, Karaoke Joe. Time to throw down.
We are in the mix with KJ, Karaoke Joe. Time to throw down. Let's go.
This is Perla Judith, and you're listening to this year's Best Internet Radio Personality winner.
KJ always says, time to throw down. Let's go.
Let's go.
And you're listening to Karaoke Joe on Throwdown Mix.
Time to throw down. Let's go.
All right, guys, it's Karaoke Joe coming to you straight from San Antonio's very own Big G's TC Radio. I've been waiting for today for a while. I was worried because my boss said we were working overtime, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. We got Miss Tequila Does in the house. We got Krystal Diaz out there. Krystal, can you hear me out there?
I can hear you, and I have to say, what an introduction, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know,
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you very much. I've got an amazing followers out there, and I had put it out that I needed some drops to put a intro in. So while that's flying, I'm doing sound check on the social media to make sure everything's going. And I love hearing.
Love it.
I love hearing everybody's different ways of saying, "Let's go," and it's funny how I hear everybody do that.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I've been chatting both with you and with Mary out there, and I've been so excited. Y'all did a perfect timing of the release of Tequila Does and everything, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But for everybody out there that hasn't had the opportunity to listen to Miss Krystal Diaz or get to know her, Chris, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell everybody a little behind the scenes of you.
Sure. So my name is Krystal Diaz. I'm born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I'm a proud Tejana. I grew up on Tejano music. You know, my family, we come from a family of musicians. So I grew up with my tios and my great-grandfather, all self-taught musicians, many of them performing in, you know, Tejano and conjunto bands themselves. I actually started my career in dance. I started dancing at the early age of 2, went pro at 12, opened up my own business in San Antonio at 16. I own the San Antonio Dance Company. We are a local dance company that offers dance classes for children all the way up through adults. We start them at 2, all the way up through, I have women in their 50s. And I'm a former Miss San Antonio. I grew up doing pageants and performing. That's always been my passion. Music has always been a big part of my life. But in 2018, I released my very first single, La Reina del Baile, which was produced by Grammy Award winner Gilbert Velasquez. And for the past few years, I've been embarking on this musical journey. I've experimented with a few different genres, from ballads to mariachi. I've covered a few songs, and I also have a few originals. And I recently just released my new single, Tequila Does, just in time for rodeo season, I like to call it. We just wrapped up the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, and that was my goal, was to release this song in celebration of rodeo in San Antonio. And I think it's just the perfect fusion of Tejano country, is what I like to call it.
Yes.
And I'm just so proud of the response that I've gotten so far, with everyone loving the song. And whether you are a Tejano lover or a country lover, or you like both, I think this song is definitely something for everyone. And it was my first English song too, so that was fun, and I love it. I love the outcome, and I'm really enjoying seeing people enjoy it. So.
Well, I was telling Mary about when we were talking about the Tejano country. One of my favorite groups out there is Grupo Vida Electric Cowboys. And of course my favorite song is Because I Love You. So for you to do that, I love how Tejano artists like Emilio and Michael Salgado and Grupo Vida, they jump in that countryside, because anybody knows you can't go to a Tejano dance without throwing in some country out there. And so when you got our Tejano artists doing that also, it keeps that flow going with it. So props on that. I love it.
Thank you. I was a little bit nervous, because whenever you're in the process of releasing a new song, you always want to, you want it to be your best work. And it was one of those gut instincts that I had, that I said, you know what, this is my vision. And, there isn't a lot of female artists exploring the Tejano country. There's been a lot of male artists that have done it, but the females haven't. So it was definitely kind of a little risk. And I was just praying that everyone would see my vision and love it. And it's just been a blessing to see the response, because people get it and they like it. So it's been fun.
How was it that you had picked that song?
So that specific song was released in 2019 by Miranda Lambert. And honestly, when I first heard this, I was a big fan of the song. I love the simplicity of it.
Yes.
I love the guitar. I love the words, because I feel like, hey, who doesn't love some tequila? So I definitely fell in love with the version of it, first and foremost. And I had this vision over the past year or so, actually the past 2 years. I've been planning this for like 2 years and thinking about how I was going to put it into fruition. But I said, I love this song and I would love to cover this song, but how can I make it my own? And how can I fuse the two genres? And I knew that I wanted to sing it in English, but I knew that I wanted the actual sound to sound Tejano. Yes. So my producer, David Garza, to him, 180 Studio in San Antonio, Texas. He has some phenomenal musicians. Rosendo Villarreal is actually an amazing accordionist that does some accordion work with Grupo Signo. And I also have from Intocable, who's a bajo player and the guitarist for Intocable. So I have to credit the musicians on the track, because I really feel that when you listen to the song, the instruments, the accordion, the guitar, we even have a little bit of electric guitar in it. It really just brought the song to life and gave it that Tejano spin. And that vision. And I feel like I had a certain idea, but with David, the musicians, and myself, we really made it come to life. And it was just the most beautiful project I've worked on. I'm so happy with it, and I love it. I love it so much.
Well, I told Mary I had to actually go back and listen to the original, because that song is my wife's favorite song of Miranda. We saw Miranda live in Dallas a couple of years ago, and that's her favorite song. And then so when I let her listen to your version, she was like, oh my goodness, that sounds awesome, and I love the instruments. And so I went back to listen, because I love that accordion run, that's going throughout the whole track and everything. And I mean, it came out perfect. I love the way y'all made it your own and still kept it country. I was telling you a while ago, I kid around when I play it, because where you say Jose Cuervo, I follow right up with some Diva Tequila. Diva Tequila is actually one of my sponsors. So I gotta throw them in there a little bit.
You can insert whatever drink of choice you like.
I love it. Now you were talking about your past singles and everything, and I went through your YouTube library, guys. If y'all have not checked out Krystal on YouTube, go out there and check it out. I was listening to the album, the Passion album, and then you got a reggaeton, you got a banda on there. I mean, you got a little bit of everything on the genres out there, and your voice, I mean, pops right in on each genre. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I think as an artist, it's important to be versatile. You know, being in the Tejano, you know, the capital of the world is what we call San Antonio, right? It's important for me to always stay true to my roots. But, you know, the music is constantly changing and evolving, and there's so many different sounds and styles that I like to explore those genres. And, you know, we were talking about the reggaeton album or song, Es Fuego. That was my past single before Diaz. They're two completely different songs. Yeah. And I had an amazing artist on there who was from Puerto Rico, and I love it. I like to make music that makes people feel good, want to dance, have fun, and that's what I'm most excited about my album. I feel like once I complete the album, there's going to be such a versatility on there of so many different types of genres and styles. I feel like my fans are really going to have a great time listening to it because none of the songs sound the same. So there's a little bit of a different taste of everything that's going to be on the album. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, I like the fact that, you know, like you might have a reggaeton in there, and right now reggaeton is killing it. I mean, you hear all the reggae, Bad Bunny and Daddy Yankee, and you know, you hear all the artists. So for, you know, everybody says, how are we going to get Tejano to keep growing and take it to another level? If all of our kids are listening to hip hop, R&B, reggaeton, you know, if you got a track on your album, or you got that release, you know, people are going to hear that. And then from that song, they're going to jump next in the playlist is going to be Tequila Does or one of your Tejano tracks, you know. So they're going to keep listening, you know. So, I mean, to me, that's how we bring our youth back in, because we got to let them relate to our music also, you know.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And I think it's good to explore those different genres and find a way to fuse them together. You know, Espejo had a taste of reggaeton, but also I wanted to keep the vibe of cumbia as well. So same thing with, it was Tejano country, but then with Es Fuego, you have a taste of like a cumbia rhythm with some reggaeton. So we always try to come together and try to fuse genres so that it's relatable to people that like different types of sounds, or it's a new sound that people maybe have not really heard too much before and they learn to like it. So definitely I like to test the waters a little bit, and I love to make music that's going to make people go, I haven't heard anything like that yet, or that's different. and I think that's just important to stay true to who you are and to not lose yourself, and to really make music that you are happy with and you enjoy. And that's our gift to share with the world is music that. So.
Well, with you being a dancer, I know I was talking to Gabriel Zavala a while back, and he said, you know, one way that him and Stephanie pick their tracks is if they can't dance to it, you know, they work on it till they can. You know, they love dancing, you know, and with you being a dancer, I mean, do you use that same philosophy? I mean, you've danced professionally and you teach dance now, and I mean, do you hear your songs and say, wait, am I going to be able to jam to that at a club? Or, I mean, does that kind of affect your process?
Absolutely. And, you know, La Reina de Baile is a perfect example. That was my very first single, and I knew, you know, because no one really knew my background as a singer. Before I decided to pursue a career in singing, I was a dancer. I would sing, you know, from time to time just for fun. But when I knew I was going to make that step into the singing career, I said, I want to capitalize on my brand, which is the Queen of Dancing, La Reina de Baile. And I think that first single that I released in 2018 was the perfect example of my music. It is an upbeat, lively cumbia. It's called La Reina de Baile, which is the Queen of Dance. And if you go and watch that music video, I'm literally dancing with about 12 young men, you know, getting down on some cumbia. There's a scene where I'm literally dancing in the water, and you could just see the passion and the love that I have. Yes. And it was, you know, a great time recording that song. You know, getting the opportunity to work with Grammy Award winner Gilbert Velasquez and having him be the first person to produce my singing career, that was a blessing, you know, because he is so accomplished. I feel like he's at that place in his career where he can pick and choose who he wants to work with. He doesn't have to say yes to it. So the fact that he saw that potential in me as a very new artist that was green and didn't really know too much about the music singing industry, I was really grateful for that, and I'm forever grateful to him kind of introducing me into the world of Tano music. And and then that's kind of the stepping stone that was formed from the beginning when I started my singing career. I like to make music that makes people feel good, and even my slower songs, like I've had people use that song since it is a love song, use it for engagements or to get married. My husband and I actually danced that song at our wedding. So I feel like a song that I've come out with has that feeling of you want to dance, you want to have a good time, you want to fall in love and dance this at your wedding, or just go out and drink some tequila. So dance is definitely the inspiration behind my music, because I want people to feel good and have fun.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, for those of y'all that haven't seen it, if she doesn't mind, I'm about to go ahead and drop the music video for y'all right quick of La Reina, and see what y'all think, and let y'all see the dance moves and everything like that. Krystal, do you mind us dropping it right quick?
Well, check it out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is La Reina del Baile.
Let's go.
Krystal, Diaz.
De la música me está quemando, por eso de bailar ya no puedo parar. El fuego de la música me está quemando, por eso de bailar ya no puedo parar. Me siento una reina cuando estoy bailando, y este movimiento me hace soñar. Me siento una reina cuando estoy bailando, y este movimiento me hace soñar.
Been at work since 4:30 this morning, and I'm still ready to dance.
Keep going.
Let's go.
El fuego de la música me está quemando, por eso de bailar ya no puedo parar. El fuego de la música me está quemando, por eso de bailar ya no puedo parar. Me siento una reina cuando estoy bailando, y este movimiento me hace vibrar. Me siento una reina cuando estoy bailando, y este movimiento me hace soñar.
Next time I play this, I'm going to have to get on my turntables. I'm already let you know.
Oh, I love that. This is the perfect song for a party.
Yes.
Es que la cumbia recorre de mis venas y poco a poco se enciende mi piel. Es que la cumbia recorre de mis venas y poco a poco se enciende mi piel.
I love that with the wings.
Es que la cumbia recorre de mis venas y poco a poco se enciende mi piel. Es que la cumbia recorre de mis venas y poco
I love that. Where was that? Where was that filmed at?
Downtown San Antonio, believe it
Downtown.
or not.
Yeah.
An August summer day. Why we decided to shoot in the middle of the day, I don't know why. And that scene where I was not part of the plan whatsoever. It was a last minute decision that actually videographer for this. He was like, we already shot a whole bunch of different scenes, and he's looking at the waterfall. And I remember I had my mom there, and I had my hairstylist there, and they're looking at me like, "You better not do it." And I said, "Well, I mean, what if we get some good footage?" I said, "I'm so hot and dehydrated. That water looked so tempting." I said, "I'm gonna do it. We're gonna go for it." And that ended up being my favorite scene music video.
Yeah.
And I love it. Being so better and you just go with the flow. And so that's the story behind that video.
Yes.
That was not part of the plan whatsoever, but I love it.
Well, it came out perfect. It came out perfect. And I love the way you have the guys dancing around you and everything like that. I mean, it just sets the mood. Like I said, next time I play that, I'm gonna have to get on my turntables and throw some scratch work on that, because that's got some fire behind it.
Love that.
Now you've got a cumbia, but then, like I said, you got Adios Hasta Nunca. That's banda, and you just kind of flip it. And I mean, right now you've got bands like Grupo Frontera that's just killing it, and other bands out there, So I mean, that's kind of a flow right there.
I am such a big fan of Grupo Frontera. My husband and I, we literally were on our way to the beach today jamming to all their songs. And, they're such a perfect example of perseverance and hard work and just the come up. They're from the valley, and just to see the growth over the past year, it hasn't even been that long. And the level that they're at in their career, it's just beautiful to see that. And I'm such a big fan of their music. They're humble and they're so talented. But that sound, like you were referencing, that sound, that banda with that fusion of cumbia, it's definitely in right now. So yes. I love that music is becoming mainstream, and you're hearing it all over. And I love that. It's important for us artists.
Right now, it seems like that. You got more at the Tejano artists. Now I know the old school Tejano folks. They don't like it, but in the long run, it's a business what we do. And that is the reason that we open up our borders a little bit as far as our musical borders and everything. Because, like I said a while ago, you open up that side. And I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm going to reach old school with the old Selena movie. That's the scene everybody remembers is when Selena went to Mexico, and, we do got to open ourselves up like that, to be able to reach out to all the different people out there. I mean, you look at Intocable or Signal, they can't go to Mexico without having a sold out show, and that's, in the long run, that's what we all want to do, but you can do that and still stay Tejano and still drop your Tejano tracks and everything.
Absolutely. And I think that's important. Always staying true to who you are. And, being from San Antonio and connecting with so many different individuals like yourself who love Tejano music, it's always going to be something important to me. But I agree with you where, we're part of this generation now where music is evolving, and it's okay to kind of bridge that gap now and to explore with different genres, all while still staying true to your roots and still making that Tejano music. And, I think it's great. And I think it's great to finally see that bridge and that change in music, and having fans be a little bit more open to hearing something different. And I think it's important as an artist to explore those genres and to be more open to recording different types of styles of music.
Yes, ma'am. I got a friend of mine, Bree Bagwell. She's from New Mexico, country artist. And I was so shocked. When I saw the video, she reached out. Now, this young lady is tall, slender, blonde hair, blue eyes, when she wants to keep the blonde hair. Just a fireball on stage. I mean, she shocked me at Guitars and Cadillacs, jumped on a speaker and just jamming out on her guitar. We went to La Frontera to go eat in Amarillo, Texas. and she started singing Intocable. And I'm like, wait, what? So I was shocked. She actually did a release. She did, what we're talking about, Cross That Border. She did a release, You're Too Good to Be True, and sang it with La Energia, and it was a perfect, fusion of banda and country, so everybody's doing it out there.
It's definitely, you're starting to see it more. And even, within mainstream music, you're starting to see a reggaeton artist, feature a song with a banda artist or vice versa. And, people are really putting themselves out there and testing the water. I think it's great. And I love it.
I mean, you can't get any deeper than having Snoop Dogg in a mariachi outfit, singing with the mariachi group.
Very big a fan. He loves banda music. He came out with a song with Banda MS. Who would have ever thought?
Yes.
They're the most opposite individuals, totally different styles of music. And I love the song, by the way, that they came out with. And I think seeing that, it was just such a breath of fresh air to see two different artists with two different genres come together and make music. And I think it's great.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go and drop down Adios Hasta Nunca for everybody out there. And if you could throw us in on it.
So this is my original song, Adios Hasta Nunca, and you're listening to it with Karaoke Joe. I hope you enjoy it.
Let's go.
Lazos y tus juegos. Yo te abrí las puertas de mi vida. Pensé que todo era falso, me creí de tus mentiras. Pero tú cada vez no entiendes que tu amor me hizo bien. ¿Qué futuro me esperaba cuando nada empezó bien? Tus falsas promesas duelen, te burlaste de mi amor. No te importó mis sentimientos, me pisaste el corazón.
Get it, girl, get it.
Pero tú cada vez no entiendes que tu amor me hizo bien. ¿Qué futuro me esperaba cuando nada empezó bien? Tus falsas promesas duelen, te burlaste de mi amor. No te importó mis sentimientos, me pisaste el corazón. Quédate con ella, que sufras mi dolor, que la suerte te castigue con tu nuevo falso amor. Quédate con ella, que mueras de dolor, que te siga la tristeza y te arrepientes de este adiós. Que Dios te perdone, adiós hasta nunca. Quédate con ella, que sufras mi dolor, que la suerte te castigue con tu nuevo falso amor. Quédate con ella, que mueras de dolor, que te siga la tristeza y te arrepientes de este adiós. Que Dios te perdone, adiós hasta nunca.
I love it. Now, I do got to ask, that's not the railroad track where they say the ghosts push the bus, is it?
So actually, that video, the song is special to me because it was an original song that my producer and I worked on together. And so by listening to the lyrics, you could hear it's a heartbreaking song, and I think we can all relate to that. You know, we've all been in that position, you know, where we've experienced heartbreak. And so the music video, we actually shot that video at my family's ranch in Pleasanton, Texas. So I actually part owner of land in Pleasanton, Texas, and it meant a lot to me. When I heard the song, it kind of had that rancho, that banda vibe, and I said, you know, I really love this song kind of ranch, and my family owns a ranch. We own a ranch in Pleasanton. And I decided, let's film it there. And it's neat because I can always look back on that video and think of my family and think of our property. And it's just so beautiful. I love the country. Yes. And yeah, those train tracks. I had somebody tell me, you know, it's illegal to walk on the train tracks. I was like, I didn't know for no train. But I had a really good.
I got two funny stories to share with you. The first one is that song should be my wife's theme song because we always joke around with each other. She loves the Brazilian bull riders, and she's gonna be mad at me for telling everybody this. And anytime, like, she has a big deal about them, but anytime I say anything about Jennifer Lopez or Penelope Cruz, any of them, she's like, her saying to me is, well, just go with her then. And that's what she always tells me. And I tell her, I don't say that when you're talking about Pacheco from the Bull Riders, you know, but that's her saying, just go with her then. So she's going to relate to it. I think
it's like around, but not you. It's not the same.
I love it. The second story is I used to, every time I heard that tuba in a Vanda song, I had PTSD from it when I was in the Marine Corps because I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. I lived in Oceanside, California. And we lived in a duplex with walls that were probably about half an inch thin. And our next door neighbor listened to nothing but banda. So when I had to get up and go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning, you could still hear that tuba just beating through that boom, 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 boom. Oh my God. So I'm still trying to ease my way back into banda.
And you know, and a little bit of like a culture shock. So after I released La Reina de Baile, another great story with my first single. It was just a dream come true. So there was a show called Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I had never really believed in auditioning for those shows like American Idol. I always thought they were big, you know. I said no. Yeah. So my grandma tells me, she says, you know, they're going to have auditions in Austin, and, you know, you just released that new song and you have your backup dancers. Why don't you just go for it? You know, maybe they'll pick you. And I said, oh, no, I think those shows are rigged. Anyway, I got up the courage to go and audition. I get a call back 3 days later that they want me to go to Hollywood, California. So I got to actually perform La Reina de Baile in Hollywood on that, which was amazing. The judges absolutely loved it. But the show was in California, and that's all the music that was over there. And a lot of the acts that were on the show were the big two and the banda, and I had listened to that music a little bit, but not too much. But I heard nothing but banda the whole time out of California, and right after, you know, La Reina de Baile, that's where kind of that vision for Dios Nunca came from. Was kind of listening to that genre. I said, "Wow, this is nice. I like it." You know, that I was a little bit of a shock for me hearing that big tuba for the first time. I said, "Wow, this is a very ton of music back at home." You know, guitar and the accordion, but the tuba, that was new. So I could see where it's a little much at the beginning, or if you hear a lot of it, it's not like, okay. So
well, speaking on that,
it was great.
Speaking on that, you as an artist, does I know one time I was writing a song, and I always wrote R&B back in the days. I was jazz, soul, and R&B, and we moved back to Texas from California. And I wrote a song, and I always let my ex-wife, my wife at the time, I always let her hear all my music when I was done with it. And she listened to it. She goes, "Oh, that's good." I said, "That's it? It's good?" And she goes, "Yeah, but I got a question." I said, "What's that?" She goes, "When did you start writing country?" I said, "That's not country." She goes, "Babe, that's country. That's straight country." But it was because I was back in Sweetwater, Texas, and that's all there was country stations. So I picked up those rips as I was playing it down on the keyboard. Does that happen with you? I mean, in coming up with new music, or?
I mean, honestly, I have to credit my producer, David. He's got a great ear for a lot of things. So usually the way it works is I always kind of have this vision, when it's that time again for me to work on a new song. I always come to him with a vision, and he's kind of the one that clears the waters for me. Hey, this sound, it's a little bit, let's tweak it. And I swear he's a visionary. He has such a good ear. What I love about him as well is his work is a lot more. He's more hands-on with me, not just as a producer, but as a vocalist. He is an amazing vocalist. He is a musician, and he produces. So I feel like I just have the best of both worlds as an artist working with him, because musically he's so talented, and it really helps to have someone that in your corner that can help you vocally, can help you get the sound right, because I may think like this sounds Tejano, and he may say, "I don't think so. I think this sounds more norteño," or "This sounds like tuba. Let's bridge it this way." So I think it's important to have in your corner that know more than you do and can guide you. I think as an artist, you have to always remain teachable and coachable, and be open to criticism and be humble, because I may think something sounds amazing, but sometimes I need him to humble me and be like, "No, let's try it like this," or "Let's give this a shot." But he's really good at always allowing me to be true to myself and me being myself, but he knows how to enhance it so that I sound like myself. So, it sounds good.
Well, I know I've talked to different producers, and some of them say there's some artists that are just so hard to work with because they want it their way and that's it, and it's hard to tweak this or that because they're not really open to it. I mean, so I know every producer out there is very appreciative of artists that are open to learning, and you never know. I mean, right now you have your studio, you have the pageants. We were joking around saying you're going to have your own tequila now. I mean, you never know. I mean, one of these days you might have your own studio out there to be able to mentor to other artists, out there and everything. So it's always amazing to be able to jump in with somebody like David. I mean, I've heard his music, of course, through Di Marie, and I mean, he's amazing. Everything he does is a hit.
And he's very behind the scenes. You don't really see him a lot on social media. He doesn't really share a lot of things. He's more private than a lot of other producers. So I think, when I talk about him, I'm always like, David, this, David. And he's the most humble person. Yes. He'll never brag about himself. I oftentimes think he doesn't give himself enough credit. I just want to share his work with the world because I think he's amazing. But that's what I love about you. He's a genuine, such a good-hearted individual. He's done amazing music for his sister Di, who's another talented artist. And I think as a producer too, he's always been so humble, and he's always been so approachable, and he's just an amazing guy. And I'm blessed to have him in my life.
So when you brought it up and told him you wanted to do a country Tejano track and it being a cover, what was his first impression? What did he say?
He's always up for the challenge, and I used to get kind of nervous when I would come to him with an idea because, like we talked about, all of my songs are very different. Mm-hmm. But he is so approachable when it comes to my ideas, and I'm really grateful for that. So I kind of shared the song. I said, "Okay, this is what I want to do." He's like, "We're gonna make it happen." I'm already thinking of ideas. And literally the day that I told him I wanted to do the song, he got straight to work and was already coming up with all of these ideas. He contacted the musicians himself, and he's like, he's behind this song. He really is. Awesome. Like I said, I had the vision in life. So it's nice to have that person in your corner. I was hoping that he wasn't going to tell me I was crazy, and you know what? We're not doing that.
Well, I know a lot of people, like we said, a lot of Tejano. Man, I hate to say it, but our Tejano industry, we critique each other so hard, you know, instead of opening our minds up and just saying, hey,
Yes.
that sounds cool. And I
Right.
know the other day, Gabriel Zavala had did a post about, you know, people critiquing about doing covers. And I brought up, it was right after the New Mexico Hispano Music Awards. And Song of the Year for the New Mexico Hispano Music Awards was Santiago Alberto, who was a mariachi singer, and he did a cover of Pídame la Luna, and it is beautiful the way he did it with a whole mariachi band behind him and everything. And not a single person critiqued him. In fact, he won Song of the Year with a cover, but he made it his own.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, that's what I feel about covers. First of all, you know, I know people critique when artists go to fanfare and they do covers. I'm like, that cover made you stop though. If you're walking past being at stage and you hear a song that sounds familiar, you're gonna stop and see who's singing it, and then now you're gonna hear their next song. You know, so it's a way, to me, to pull people in. Yes.
You know, I'm a big Rivera fan. God bless her soul. You know, but she used to get a lot of criticism because she would cover songs, and she was one of those chingona women that did not care what anyone said, and she was very vocal about that. And she did an interview one time about people critiquing her doing covers. She went as far as releasing a whole album with nothing but cover songs as a clap back to the people that critiqued her. The album went platinum, and she won many awards because of that specific album. But I think she did it to prove a point that you can cover songs, but it's very important to make them your own.
Yes.
When I was recording Tequila Does, I did not want to sound like Miranda Lambert whatsoever. I even put Spanish on the words like Jose Cuervo or not Juarez, it was Juarez, or Flores, and I said Flores. You know, I my own, and I think if you're gonna do a cover song, it's important to pay respect to the artist that was the original.
Oh, I think we lost her right quick. Hold up right quick, guys. Let me draw this up.
Are you there? Okay, there we are.
Yes, we lost each other. Let me drag you over right quick. Hold up right quick. Modern technology. All right, there we go again. For all my DJs out there, that's why you always have a good polka in the waiting. Now, who was the artist that you were talking about that did the album, the cover album?
Trinity Vera did that.
Yes.
So she got a lot of criticism about doing so many cover songs. So she did an album with nothing but covers. Every single song on the album was a cover, and it ended up going platinum. And it did very, very well. And I think she did that as to prove a point to people that critiqued her as an artist that it's okay to do. She would do a lot of covers of like Juan Gabriel and Ana Gabriel, and she as well also experimented with reggaeton. She did a song with Tito and Bambino, I think in like 2009. And, you know, she kind of was one of those artists too that started doing covers and started experimenting with different genres. Like we mentioned, Snoop Dogg was a really, really big fan of hers as well. Growing up from California, they both were from Long Beach, and it's just very cool to hear, you know, other female artists, even in different genres, who can kind of relate to those same issues with the music.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we get La Voz, Jay Pettis. I mean, one of my favorite albums of his is where he did all those covers. Me and Mrs. Jones is still one of my favorite. You know,
gosh. Love. Never goes out of style.
No. Now, before we jump into Tequila Does, I mean, I'd like to jump a little bit, for everybody that's listening, the dance studio that you have and the pageants that are year round. I mean, not only are you doing now doing the music and putting it out there full time, but you're doing the pageants, you're doing the dance studio. I mean, how are you able to juggle all this stuff around?
I opened my business at 16. So I opened my dance company very young. I was a sophomore in high school at the time. And, it was supposed to be something that kind of got me through college and like a hobby to make my own money. But I have been in business for 15 years now, which has been such a huge thing. I'm so thankful. I'm a mom now to a 15-month-old little boy.
Aww.
And I business. And the fact that I started so many years ago, it's allowed me to give me the flexibility to be a present mom and to be a full-time mom, all while balancing, my businesses and learning how to maneuver motherhood and all of those things. But I learned a lot of self-discipline at a young age. Like I said, I became a business owner very young. I was always very disciplined as a young girl. I would take, dance lessons like 3 to 4 times a week. And I have to credit my parents for really introducing me to that discipline as a young girl and always being responsible and being committed to my responsibilities. So I think, coming from a parent's perspective now, because I'm a mom, it's definitely something that has to be taught to your kids at a young age, is learning how to balance school, extracurricular activities, and preparing for your future.
Yes.
And I think the fact that I had such a young start, now that I'm in my 30s, it really helps to prepare me to where I am at now. So it's definitely not easy. It's very hard to balance so many different things. And my days are always all over the place. I don't have a set schedule. So it's not easy, but I definitely I'm very motivated, and I've always been very ambitious. And, I genuinely love what I do. I'm able to mentor and provide dance education to children and adults of all ages. I also am a dance director at a senior facility for the elderly. So I get to work with the elderly too.
Awesome.
So it's good because I get to really introduce them to the love of dance. And I feel like dance is a universal language for the soul. I think never too young, you're never too old. I help, my students discover that self-confidence. And then now I'm able to help motivate them to follow their dreams and start their path with what it is that they love to do, whether it be dancing or something else. So I really feel like I'm doing my dream job and I'm doing God's work. I love to bring happiness to their life, and it's a blessing to do what I do.
Well,
so not an easy task, but it is a lot of fun.
They say if you're having fun while you're working, it's not necessarily work, because you're having fun doing it.
I absolutely agree. And as far as the pageants go, I started in pageants at around 13, and I wanted to start my own pageant here in San Antonio, Texas, because there were not very many Latin girls, Latinas, Hispanics in pageantry as I was growing up. There were not anyone that would come to my school and promote pageants to inner city kids like myself. It was very hard for me to find those resources being a Hispanic girl. And, I said one day, I want to start my own pageant that I will be able to provide scholarships, and I can mentor these inner city girls that maybe don't have that background where their parents were doctors and attorneys and had money, because those were the girls that I competed in pageants with as a young girl. And I had to put my heart, blood, sweat, and tears into my competitions to be able to win. But a lot of these other girls had so many other resources that I didn't, so I really had to. So that's where my pageant started. I've been a pageant director for 10 years, and I always wanted to be able to promote within the inner city kids. And there's so many intelligent, beautiful, talented young women that are out there that just needed someone who believed in them or needed a resource that was going to be provided to them where they're from in their community.
Yes.
I've been able to work with so many girls over the past 10 years. Many of them, I'll never forget my very first teen that won the teen title the very first year. She went on and just graduated from Harvard and is becoming a doctor here from little old San Antonio, Texas.
Yes.
And there have been girls that have gone on to, be on Univision, hosting television, getting their degrees, getting into wonderful careers. And for a lot of them, this platform of my pageant and the training that I provided them gave them the confidence to go after their dreams. So I really believe that all it takes is one person to believe in you and to give you a chance. don't ever underestimate the power that you have as an individual to make a difference, because
Yes.
that's always beautiful. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful journey, and I've really soaked in every moment of it, and I love my work. So
Well, I mean, we all need that person to influence us and to push us a little bit. And, you know, me as a radio broadcaster and a DJ kind of falls in the same thing. I've always got new artists that are coming up and, you know, asking for advice or asking for leads, you know, to producers or whatever and everything, you know, and then, you know, years later hit me up and say, you know, thank you. And you know, it always makes you feel good to know that there's somebody out there succeeding and living their dream because, you know, you just lent a simple hand. These days, I think too many people are cutthroat instead of helping each other, you know, and so it's amazing, you know, to be able to do that. And my daughters were in pageants, and I know that to be able to do a pageant, you've got to have so much confidence in yourself to get up there and just believe in yourself, you know, that if you can do that, you can pretty much do anything else you put your mind to do in the future.
And you know, pageants have changed a lot from the way they used to be. Like when I competed, they were so cutthroat at that time. You know, they were very strict on, you know, body image. And I mean, just to the T, everything had to be perfect. And I feel like as a society, we've kind of loosened up a little bit with, you know, now we have like bullying and body shaming. You know, you can't say that or you can't do that. And I'm glad because, you know, there was a lot of pressure behind being in that position or being on stage and being critiqued. And you know, we have a competition, but I always want the girls to feel confident. I always want them to embrace how they look and who they are, and win or lose, be able to take something positive away from the experience, because it's not easy to get up there and do all that. And I never want them to feel like if they lost, that they totally lost the experience, because I always say the person that you were when you walked in that first day is not the same person. You know, we train for a good months of etiquette and speaking skills and their walking and their onstage presence. So I always say they're like in a little cocoon, and then the night of the pageant they're all my butterflies, because come alive on stage, and it's a beautiful thing to see, but it's definitely not an easy thing to do.
Well, I think with the learning side of it, I don't think a lot of people understand that most pageants out there are scholarship programs, you know, to get young ladies to be able to go to that next level and everything. And I mean, most of them turn out so successful, and it starts with that, you know. So congrats to you on putting that together for so many years out there. How would they get? How do people in the San Antonio area get a hold of you to be able to do either the pageants or the dance studio?
So you can find me on social media under Krystal Diaz, Krystal with a K, Diaz, D-I-A-Z. I also have fan pages for all of my business, but it's easier for you to just reach out to me personally. Let me know what it is you're looking for. I never know what someone's contacting me for. Do you want me to send you my music? Do you want information on my pageant? So I'm always very responsive online, so they can always reach out to me online, and I can direct them to whatever it is they're looking for. I even have people that contact me for performances with the dancers. I mean, you name it, we've got it going on. We're very busy. We have a lot of different projects, but I'm always grateful for the support and for people who reach out to me and want to be a part of what I do.
And the dance studio is Danza Vida?
Danza Vida de San Antonio.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was funny because I did, when I did the promo for Tequila Does, I had messaged your mom, and I just do it automatically now, and I forgot to ask. I usually always ask. And so I sent it to y'all, and I was like, I hope y'all don't mind that I put my tagline in. And she thought I had said, she said, I just listened to it real quick, and I thought you said Danza Vida. And I was like, wait, how does he know that? You know, I said, and then she heard it again. She's like, oh, you said Pura Vida. I said, yeah, that's my tagline. It's Costa Rica deal. They said Pura Vida. And so it was, we had a link already right there just because of that.
I love that.
I love it. Well, I mean, what would you like before we play Tequila Does? We'll play that, and then we'll come back and ask a couple more questions. But what would you like to say to all your followers, all your supporters up to now, and to your new fans that we're gaining out there?
So I just want to thank first and foremost, I want to thank you, Karaoke Joe, for having me on your show. I'm so thankful for individuals like yourself that provide a platform for artists such as myself to be able to share my story. I think it's important to share my story as an artist and give my fans and followers a little bit of a taste of who I am as an individual, aside from the music. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank the fans and followers who are tuning in, whether you're seeing it now or you'll be able to see it later. I hope that you enjoyed my music. We have a lot of great and exciting things coming up. We have some future performances that I'll be announcing. I will actually be at Tejano Fanfare next Saturday, the 18th. Awesome. Follow me online, or you don't follow me yet, be sure to follow me at Krystal Diaz on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I will be sharing my performance times and the stages that I'll be performing on. And I'm just excited for what's to come. And I hope that you guys are ready for more Krystal Diaz music.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I do got to throw a congratulations out to you for jumping on our first edition of the TC Radio Top 20 most requested hit list. And I do got to say out there to all the artists out there, y'all need to do exactly like Krystal and Mary did, because me and Vic were looking at the emails the other day. When you request a song on our webpage, when you fill out the form, we get an email that pops in, and it tells us what the song was requested, the song, artist, and who requested it. And I've got to say, there's 3 artists right now that are killing it. Like basically every other email I've got, their fans are requesting it, and one of them is your followers out there, Chris. I mean, you've got an amazing following right now.
Thank you. That means a lot. I love all of my fans, all my followers. I'm fortunate that I have them from all over the U.S., Mexico. It's great. I love to connect with them, and at the end of the day, it's because of them that I'm able to be featured on shows like this and have my song on different charts throughout the U.S., and it's a beautiful journey, and I'm so thankful for all the love and support.
Thank you very much. Well, right quick, like I said, we're going to drop out the brand new single out there, Tequila Does, and then we'll come back and close it out. And anything else you'd like to share, we'll jump right on it.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Once again, this is Krystal Diaz, her brand new single. Already getting so many requests out there, and like I said, it was on your top 20 most requested hit list. Pura vida, baby. Let's go.
His last name was Flores. He came up from Juarez looking for a hell of a time. With the blonde senorita and a tall margarita, we danced on the tables all night. Then I said adios, Casamigos is taking me home tonight. 'Cause he don't love me like tequila does. Nobody can. He don't give me that border town buzz like tequila does. I sure like to find a cowboy tonight to get me back in the saddle. But the boys around here drink domestic beer. I have no cattle, but I won't sleep alone, 'cause my old pal Patron is taking me home tonight. They don't love me like tequila does. Nobody can. They don't give me that border town buzz like tequila does. Well, I might as well face it. I'm always chasing and a kiss with a twist of lime. When I'm drinking doubles, I'm nothing but trouble, and trouble so easy to find. En mi sombrero, 'cause Jose Cuervo
And Diva Tequila.
Diva Tequila
is taking me home tonight.
Pick it up one more time. Let's go.
No, they don't love me like tequila does. Nobody cares. They don't give me that border town buzz like tequila does. No, they don't love me like tequila does. Nobody cares. They don't give me that border town buzz like tequila does. They don't give me that border town buzz like tequila does.
I love it. I love the way that accordion is just so bouncy. Like it just pushes right through that single. I love it.
It does. He did an amazing job.
You can't just sit still. You can't sit still listening to it.
Contagious song. It just makes you want to just get up and dance.
I love it. Well, I mean, there's so much going on with the pageants, with the dance studio, with the music now. You're finishing up the brand new album and everything, and I'm just so excited to see where everything is going with you. And I do got to call dibs as soon as that album's released. I want to order an autographed hard copy. I'm old school, so I love the hard copy CDs.
It's like something that you can hold and touch and feel. I love that. Definitely.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of that, for the Hana Music Awards Fanfare, are you going to be doing an autograph session out there?
I am. So right now I'm waiting on a time. So I'll definitely be sharing that with my showtimes this coming week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be out there. I love being able to do the autograph sessions because I love to take pictures. I love to see my fans. It's just a fun time to be able to interact with people from all over the U.S. and the world that come and want to hear some good Tejano music. So I will be sharing that as well with my showtimes on my social media.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for your time. And do me a favor, please thank Mary. She's been so awesome getting all of this set up and her words. Tell her her words to me meant a lot to me. She said y'all been following me for a while, and for me as a DJ, that means a lot to me.
We have it. I have to shout out to my momager. I call her my momager. She does the legwork for me, and I just get to show up and look pretty and talk to you guys. But I have to thank my mom for making it happen. And I know it takes time and effort and work to coordinate things like this. And I'm very grateful to have such an amazing support team of individuals who back me up and believe in me. And once again, Karaoke Joe, thank you so much for your time tonight. I truly enjoyed this interview. Thank you for this platform. And I'll be back soon. You're going to be the first to know we're working on a new music video for Tequila Does here within the next. So I'm excited to share that, and I'll be sure to share it with you so you could premiere it on your page.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. This is going to be available. Everybody out there, if you just barely jumped on, this is going to be available for replay on YouTube. The cool thing about YouTube is you can plug it up to your smart TV, sit back, relax, and use your phone for everything else and everything. But thank you so much again for your time, and just congratulations on all your success that you've had up to this point.
Thank you so much. Excited for what's to come. God bless you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. Now, guys, as we close out with Krystal, I'm going to play 2 other tracks of hers out there. Again, a big thank you going out there. Krystal, thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless. Have a good night.
Yes, ma'am.
Biloski la elegancia, Krystal Diaz,
reggaetón.
tú sabes que el amor de nosotros es fuego, o mejor dicho,
Krystal Diaz.
I am gonna have to get on the tables on this one.
Me promete las estrellas y solo me dejó guiar. Se portaba como un caballero, tenía buena plática. Hace tiempo fue cambiando, no me había sentido su mujer. No pensaba que valiera tanto, quedarme y ocurre. Me dicen que a él lo más bueno, que para mí su amor es veneno. Es bueno, que me queda lento. Nada suficiente domina mi mente, dejar controlarme por ti ciegamente. No puedo seguir con ese juego. Krystal Diaz.
Miloski la elegancia.
Te prometo una vida maravillosa, te compro flores, te regalo rosas. Te prometo que te cuidaré, te prometo que te amaré. No soy perfecto, pero te prometo que lo que yo tengo es amor verdadero. Te prometo que te cuidaré, te prometo que te amaré. Yo jugué con tus sentimientos, lo siento y lo admito que yo mismo te fallé. Porque nunca será suficiente. Yo me arrepiento de todo lo que yo hice, me arrepiento mil veces. Y aunque tú ya no confíes en mí, con el amor todo se puede.
Krystal Diaz.
Todos me dicen que a él lo más bueno, que para mí su amor es veneno. Es bueno, que me queda lento. Nada suficiente domina mi mente, dejar controlarme por ti ciegamente. No puedo seguir con ese juego. Todos me dicen que a él lo más bueno, que para mí su amor es veneno. Es bueno, que me queda lento. Nada suficiente domina mi mente, dejar controlarme por ti ciegamente. No puedo seguir con ese juego.
All right, guys, once again, a big thank you going out to Krystal out there for joining us today.
¿Cómo te pago todas las noches, todas las veces que me has hecho tan feliz? Tú te entregas totalmente, me recuerdas que eres solo para mí. ¿Cómo te digo? ¿Cómo te explico? Que necesito estarte siempre pone a sufrir. Te metiste completamente en mi vida. No hay un momento que no esté pensando en ti. Y te metiste como el agua entre mis manos para quedarte siempre, siempre junto a mí. Y te metiste así como que no queriendo. Me enamoraste, me ilusionaste. Y yo estoy solo para ti.
All right, guys. Once again, thank y'all so much for joining me again. I apologize for not being able to be on Facebook Live. I'm used to having all y'all's comments and everything jump on. But thank y'all for those of y'all that were listening in on the radio station and also listening in right here on YouTube. Again, this will be replayed out there. And a big thank you going out to both Krystal Diaz and Mary out there for letting me do this and being able to give y'all a little behind the scenes, a little bit behind the music out there, and let y'all just be able to connect out there with the artist out there. But thank y'all again so much for joining me. And what are we on Wednesday? Okay, I'll see y'all if you have it at Friday. And we might have a special guest on Friday. Vic is trying to put it out there. So again, thank y'all so much. Have a great week. It's hump day. You're almost to the weekend out there, guys. Again, this is Karaoke Joe coming to you straight from San Antonio's very own Vic G's TC Radio. Pura vida, baby. Let's go.